Craigslist Chronicles.
If you're bored, look for a job on Craigslist.
Fun for the whole family. Let's take a look at one today. What have we got today?
Pulling out the Craigslist Chronicles, today we have wanted executive assistant who can turn chaos into order.
Oh, Lord, have mercy.
This is in one of our wealthier parts of the state, Snobsdale.
Yes, it is. It is.
Scottsdale.
Actually is, yes.
Okay, so what they want is, for skills, personal assistant experience required, administrative experience required, Microsoft Outlook calendar, Microsoft Office.
Pretty simple, actually. That's for us, anyway. Yeah.
Languages, English, Spanish.
Okay. Oh, wait, no, go up again. Do you have experience in personal assistance? Do you have experience in personal assistance experience? Okay, there's a good sign of somebody you don't want to work with who does not know how to write. Okay, continuing on. All right, we got English and Spanish. Okay, forget that. Yeah.
Pay from $90,000 a year.
Ooh, okay.
Sounds good, right? But trust me, it ain't nearly enough.
Wait for it. How much is that an hour?
Oh, let's find out.
Let's figure that out. I'm curious because normally, people look at us as hourly people. Let's see. 2 hourly is
$45 an hour.
Okay, that's pretty consistent. Okay, well, let's see what they want to you to give for your
for that amount. Yeah.
Yes.
Job type full-time.
Okay.
Shift and schedule 8-hour shift, weekends as needed, 10-hour shift, Monday to Friday. So which is it, 8 hours or 10 hours? And is it 8 hours on the weekend, 10 hours Monday to Friday?
It's hard to say. Yeah. Well, obviously they're going to ask for more than, and again, salaried positions are the most taken advantage of.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's because you can't get overtime. Yeah.
It's like, well, you're salaried, so you owe us everything.
Yeah, you can put in, instead of 40, you're probably putting in about 80, double the amount of time. So, but getting the same money. So it won't turn into $45 an hour.
No, yeah, it'll be more like 15.
Yeah,
trust me.
Yeah.
Work setting, hybrid work, location, Scottsdale, benefits, 401k, dental insurance, health insurance, paid time off, work from home. I'll let you go with the job description.
Oh, thank you so much. Yes, we're looking for a dream executive assistant in your dreams.
Exactly.
Who is used to dealing with fast-paced executives and can eat chaos for breakfast and turn it into organized, structured chaos by lunch. Maybe by the next day's dinner. I don't know if I could do it by lunch, although I came really close.
Well, and then
I do a lot of that
and
stuff.
What's the point of doing it when they're just going to make it chaos again?
Yeah, it just continues to become
It's a
chaos.
cycle.
And I know I've done it before. I know how to do it. I'm good at it, but people don't appreciate you. If you're up for a challenge and a role that's extremely fulfilling, as it will keep you on your toes, in your toes. That's a whole nother concept there. In your toes, at the same time, require you to utilize a full range of skills while you're supporting a power couple.
Who is main purpose?
Who is main purpose? Yes, they did not
use the wrong who's there.
Yeah, and we have a film on that, whose main purpose is to help people heal, HEAL.
Yeah.
I think they got that wrong.
Yeah.
They should have been heal.
Well, okay, yeah. Then their main purpose is to make people heal.
And spread positivity in the world. Then keep reading. I think if you want positivity in the world, you can stop there. But okay, moving on.
But that's funny to me because they want to help heal people, and yet they're creating
a time warp that is not going to happen. That's not going to heal you. I had a lady that gave me a job, and it was truly that. She said, "Crystal, you're telling me all the things that you've done," and she said, "I'm getting a headache just listening to you." She said, "If you want to look for another job, I'm happy to have you come work for me and be at peace." And that was truly what it was. Yeah, it really was. But there was nowhere else to go there. You couldn't, get, better at anything.
And this does not sound like you would be at peace at all.
And it's not going to go anywhere
and
either.
You'll get a headache from it.
Yeah. Who is this for? ? This is for you if you are not afraid of uncertainty and you can build structures and systems in the midst of chaos. Not every moment will be chaotic, but chaos, fast pace, and uncertainty must be environments you can operate in. And for some of you, this type of pressure is where you shine and thrive. And that is true for me. I am definitely that person. But, you know, when you're also an organizer and a structure person, you know how to create that and you expect others to follow suit.
And they don't.
And they don't. So creating lists, visual organization, SOPs, checklists, run of shows, and playing Tetris with the calendar is something that you love doing and you take great pride in it. Okay, it's fine. They're feeding you all this crap that you already know about yourself. That's okay. We got to go somewhere with this. You shoot for excellence and you have a high standard for yourself when it comes to the output and results you produce. And that's where the problem is. Yes, I do have that, but you don't have enough of it for me.
Yeah, and that's the problem with these types of jobs is they expect you to be the one that carries the whole load.
Yeah. So you're most likely the person everyone turns to whenever they want to organize an event. We want to organize and event. Okay. A gathering, or if they want to make sure things get done on time.
On
time. It's well, the first thing you can do is help them with their English. Okay, so you're able to work with different personality types and you can plan things that are weeks or months out. And also, like everybody does that every day.
Yeah.
And also, if things come up same day, you're not afraid to take it on, pivot on a dime, and take care of that too.
Although, you know, some people can't plan that far in advance, you know.
Well, obviously they can't because they want somebody to do it for them.
Oh, you hit the nail on the head right there. They're talking about things they cannot do. This is all stuff they cannot do.
Yes, that they are, and they, yeah, obviously. Okay, so, and they can't write. So you can change your communication style to whatever the situation requires. Ha, 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 ha. Oh, that's where boundaries come in, people. You can be empathetic, kind, and graceful if the situation needs a little more TLC. And when it's go time, you are firm, assertive, and encouraging. As the show must go on, and then that became a new paragraph, as the show must go on, and you're there to make sure it does. Okay, moving on. You'd be working with an entrepreneurial couple who lives in Scottsdale and also has residences in Colorado. This position is a mix of in-person work and work from home. Yeah, I'd like to see how much of it works from home.
Yeah,
probably. No, they can't. They can't.
No, I'll tell you when it works from home. It's when it's 2:00 in the morning and they call you. That's when you're working.
And that's when you're working from home, because these kind of people are very needy. Here we go again with the needy stuff, and they need to physically see you. I've had people in the past that I've worked with that have said that. They said, "I don't know what happened to me, Crystal. I just needed you to be there all the time." Mm-hmm. And it isn't that they don't trust you. It's they're very needy, and they have to have you physically there. I've had people tell me, it's so much easier, Crystal, when you're there, so then I can just ask you. I don't have to pick up the phone and call you. Okay. Let's see. Oh, yeah, it's important you're able to be flexible with personality types because one of the owners is organized, a planner, likes fewer check-ins, and can run really well on a schedule. She's self-sufficient and self-driven and works 10 to 30 hours a week while also raising 3 kids.
Hold on a minute. She works 10 to 30 hours a week. So they want you to work more than 40 hours a week.
Yeah. So that they don't have to work those hours. Yeah.
So to me, it's like, why should I enable your laziness?
Yeah, but you're also, you're hiring a slave.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a slave again. While the other owner works 80 to 100 hour weeks, okay, might miss his schedule on the calendar if you don't remind him, moves 1,000,000 miles per second, spontaneous, and is a visionary and creative who loves to create, so he needs someone super grounded with frequent check-ins and communication. He's a babysitter. Communication in person. There's the in-person part. Mm-hmm. He's out of sight, out of mind, so you need to be there supporting, making sure that he's got everything he needs to operate in his genius. I am going to be sick. Okay.
Oh, not only that, but they did an incomplete sentence.
Oh, yeah.
Because they stopped at
yeah.
a million miles per second, then
Yeah.
spontaneous
Yeah.
is a new.
Yeah. This isn't a standard position, as some weeks are different from others. So there's never really a dull moment. For me, that has nothing to do with the weeks. It has to do with the moment to moment. So there's never a dull moment. 1 week you can be in their mountain home working 20 to 30 hours to support them so that they can be fully in their element or zone of genius as they run their global company from home. The next week you could be on a plane to New York, not happening here, working 60 to 80-hour weeks as it's a book launch with press interviews and back-to-back meetings and large 1,000-person events they are leading at that time. And I've done that. I have done that before, but with really nice people who really cared and were very, very kind. And so that means you are creating a run of show for their entire lives while traveling, making sure the travel, planning, lodging, and ground team is there to support their family. You would need a team of your own to coordinate all of that. You would need you can't, no, that doesn't even make sense. You're there traveling with them, making sure logistics is smooth, helping them get get settled, and then running the show from there. Jeez, somebody must write for them. Making sure they have everything they need for each appointment, being there on time, communicating with all parties involved, scheduling in days packed with back-to-back meetings scheduled in advance, and some showing up last minute. Oh, I'm just getting weary. You're going to have to continue.
Okay. And here we have an incomplete sentence again. Making sure they're on time for important interviews, events, and meetings. New sentence. So that's a sample high-paced week. It's not always like that, but when it happens, then you're leading the show as far as making sure the owner's lives is as stress-free and capital E efficient as possible. You must be able to operate in high-paced and at times stressful environments and still get things done. You're probably going to juggle a lot of balls, so must be good at multitasking and driving things to completion. You're going to be managing their calendar and also managing their lives. Mm-hmm. This is one of the most important roles in the organization, as the more productive and capital E efficient our owners are, the more lives they can change and help heal. If you are a doer, and you like seeing things to completion, and you take great joy in being a part of a company that's here for a greater purpose, here to change the world and make a difference, then this is probably the most fulfilling position you'll ever be part of.
Yeah. Does anybody see the difference? You know, that people are kind of talking at you, like she was saying too. You know, this is what you need to do because we don't do it.
Yeah. It's like, I'm so full of myself that you should thank me for me giving you all this crap to do.
All this stuff to do because you're going to feel so fulfilled,
Yeah.
but you're going to be exhausted, tired, drained.
Mm-hmm.
You do have to grow older in your life. And my brothers asked me years ago, they're twins, 12 years younger than me. And when they got to high school, they said, hey, we were thinking about going out for football. And what do you think? And I said, well, okay. I said, you guys are twins and you're smaller than most guys, and football can really take a lot out of you, and you can have head injury, and you can, be damaged for the rest of your life. And I said, if you've ever noticed, our grandparents paced themselves through life, took their time, did one thing, went and had a cup of coffee, went and did another thing, had a cup of coffee. I said, and they lived to very ripe old ages and in good health. And so the boys started a Bible study instead, which is great. But this is what happens to young people in the job market. They drain you of everything that you have and every ounce of energy that you have left. When you're younger, you have all that energy. You can run till the cows come home. Mm-hmm. But 10, 20 years down the road,
you're going to pay for it.
You're going to pay for it. Just understand that it's like being in a car accident. It's like being in a car wreck, and years later, those damage that was done to your body will come back to haunt you. And that's exactly what happens.
Yeah, and that's why those football players get those high salaries, the professional ones, because
Yes,
they
yes.
have a very limited amount of time that they can play before all those injuries catch up with them.
Yep.
And then, is it worth
Yeah.
it? Is it really worth it?
Yeah, you have to weigh those differences. Is it worth it to go through all this stress and anxiety and eating all this junk food because you don't have time to eat and, dealing with all of these things for somebody else? Like they say, well, like you and I've talked about, invent something. Do something for you that helps you. These people are geniuses, so are you. If you can do this job, you're a genius. You should be out being an entrepreneur and doing something yourself.
And I actually put it in my book, this statement that says, if you don't work on fulfilling your own dreams or dream big, something like that, you'll end up working really hard for somebody else who is doing that.
Yeah.
So
So you're fulfilling their dreams
Yeah.
and not yours.
And we're done fulfilling other people's dreams.
Amen. Amen.
It's our time.
Yeah, it is our time. So we're moving on here.
So-
What do we got?
So, if you're interested, please send in a one-page letter explaining why you'd be a perfect fit for, new paragraph, this position, along with your salary requirements and at least 3 references. Job and then
Job
it
type is
repeats
full-time.
all the
Yeah,
same
repeats that.
stuff.
Yeah, and the benefits.
yeah, and
and the
that's
schedule. It was just repeated everything it had
Yeah.
in the front. Okay.
But if it were me, my salary requirements would be $1 million.
I think
per
so.
year.
I think
Yeah.
really that's nothing. That's nothing. Now, what did they have on the benefits? Down.
Oh.
Yeah, you had some benefits.
Yeah, we read those already.
Oh, you know what they have a 401k. I wonder if they're matching.
Yeah, that's a good question.
That's a really good question. So if you're putting money into your 401k on a monthly basis, how much do they match?
And I'm willing to bet that the dental insurance and health insurance is paid for by you out of your salary.
Yes, that too. Yeah, they have it available, which is actually saying something. I don't know how much, but if they have access to something like that, they should be able to get you a team of people to work with.
Well, and another thing that I
And
find it
manage. You
amusing,
manage, yeah.
amusing that they have is paid time off.
When
When
are they
gonna-
on it? Where is
yeah.
that? Oh, there it is.
When are they going to let you use it? Because you have to be there all the time. You'll never get to have any paid time off.
I did work with a guy who had that problem. I actually was sick over Christmas. I was working for him. I was the only person in the office. He had 3 or 4 salesmen that worked with him. We sold office furniture, and I got the Malaysian flu that was going around at that time. People were dying. I remember a CEO of a corporation had passed away. I was sick for 2 straight weeks over Christmas and then the next week. And he fired me for not being there because he was a small company.
Which
and
is
he couldn't-
actually illegal.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, well, I went to the doctor to get a note because when I went to get unemployment, I was worried if I could do that. And I went to get a note. He actually cried. He said, "My God, Crystal, you were here every day." And I was also going through a divorce at the time. And I also had a root canal done back when root canals were a nightmare from hell. And
There's still no picnic, but
they're not as bad. They've come a long way, baby. But anyway, yeah, so I had some stuff going on, and the times that I was gone from him, heaven forbid, because he was alone, he couldn't function on his own. We worked out of his home. His wife was home. They had a small child, but she was home, and she would come down and work with us from time to time. So it wasn't like he was completely destitute, but he had such a bad attitude, and and what ended up happening to me, of course, I got fired, but before I got fired, he was out of town, and I was down there by myself, and I'm typing away, and I hear this sound. I hear this dripping sound, just this plop, 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 and I'm thinking, what is that? What is going on?
did he murder someone and their blood's dripping?
My blood was dripping.
Oh.
It came out of my pierced ear
Oh.
onto the earring and then down onto my shoulder. It was plopping onto my shoulder.
I didn't even know that when I said that.
I know. I have never been able to wear earrings since. They get completely infected immediately.
Oh, wow.
And I think it was the stress of working with him.
Probably.
He would drink during business hours, and he would yell at everybody, including his lovely, wonderful salespeople. These salespeople were amazing. He would come around and say, "I'm firing you, and I'm firing you, and I'm firing you, and I'm firing you." And as sensitive as I am, it was a little too much for me. I think the guys kind of knew him well enough to know that that wasn't true.
So they're
But
like, yeah.
yeah, but to hear that and to have him get so angry, there was a time too that the baby was downstairs with us and it frustrated him. And he put somebody on hold. He was on the phone and the baby was making
Fussing.
some noise, or whatever, and walking around. And he slams the phone down. He runs up the stairs to his wife and is screaming at her to come down and get this kid. And she, just being the dutiful, I wonder if they're even still married, but she came
He couldn't
down.
pick up the baby gently and bring it upstairs
No,
to
he
her.
was too angry. Probably would have killed it. And so she came down, got the baby, and ran back upstairs. And later I went up to see if she was okay because it was quite unsettling. But that was the kind of stuff I was putting up with, and it was coming out of my ear. And so you have to kind of weigh some of this stuff. And honestly, I'll tell you, I continue to need to have a job. So I continue to get myself in those situations all the time, and it's just not worth it.
No.
It's not worth it. You get to be older and
Like we say, don't take a job out of desperation.
don't, if you can at all.
Yeah. I mean, if you're that desperate, then get a fast food job where it doesn't matter, and then you can, pay towards your bills while you're still looking for another job.
Yeah.
But don't take something just because it looks good on paper. Maybe,
Yeah.
like this 90,000 looks great. That's more money than I've ever made in my life.
Yeah.
But I would not take that job.
No, not at all. Not at
No.
all. It's too much stress. And we, more and more in society, we're proving that stress is an issue.
Oh, definitely.
And I remember, in property management, stress is really an issue because everything's a negative. The only reason people call you is something doesn't work, something isn't right, et cetera, et cetera. So there's no positives to it at all. And I mentioned that to one of the gals who was a property manager, and I said, you've got to have balance in your life. And she was so funny. She was sitting there going,
Like she never heard the word.
I don't think so. And she said, I don't think I have that. And that's something to consider when you're looking at something like this. Like we've talked about, what do you want in a job? What is your perfect job? Write it down. What are you willing to give? What are you willing to, make? I mean, what's your
What
range?
are your must-haves? What are your must-not-haves?
Right. And really have a good boundaries. There are no boundaries here. There are no boundaries. So you're dealing more than likely, I guess I won't assume it, but
24-hour-a-day job.
and who are they? Narcissists. There we go. And so, and there's abuse that is connected
yeah.
with narcissism.
And especially this stuff about this is going to be the most fulfilling position. It's like we're so wonderful that you're just going to be so fulfilled that you're working for us for 24 hours every day of the year. No.
There's more to life than a job. There's more to life than your work. There's more to life than your work.
And the thing
Even if you are doing your own thing.
the thing that's most laughable to me about this is the fact that they're talking about being positive and healing people.
Yeah.
They ain't healing people.
They aren't healing. Well, they're not healing you. They're
No.
going. You're going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
So it's just something to consider when you're reading between these lines. Look at what people are saying. Look at how they talk about themselves. And we're going to have another video on that as well because
sure.
we've run into too much of it. And this is all of our experience, all of our years of experience, all of the stuff that we've gone through. And we're here to say, don't do it.
Yeah. Spare
Don't do
yourself.
it.
Save yourself.
Yes, run.
Because, as we always say,
Take care of yourself because nobody else will. Nobody but you. Okay.